Hi, Flosstube. It's Marlene from Blenheim, Ontario, Canada. Here to talk to you about what I've been working on as far as cross stitch goes and um, what's kind of been happening in the last few weeks. And yeah, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I've got lots of fully finishes. I don't know if I grabbed them all or if I've got them here and there. Because actually, in the last 2 weeks, so I ended up going to Nashville and absolutely loved it. It was great. Picked up all kinds of new charts and yeah, whatever I could carry basically. You don't realize how heavy books are until you've got a handful of them. So picked up, yeah, it was a lot of the new designs. Got to meet a lot of the designers, which was fun because it always seems that they're a little bit different in real life than what shows on the videos. So got to do that. Got to spend some time just doing a little bit around Nashville. So went to the Grand Ole Opry. That was fun, interesting. It's just amazing that some of these members of the Grand Ole Opry, how well they can still play after all these years. Like some of them were into their 80s, and the way they could play the fiddle in that was just incredible. Their fingers, they may be shaky, but they could still play like crazy. So that was kind of fun. So from there, went down to Florida to spend some time with our grandkids. And then when I got back, it was time for the Stitch North retreat. The first retreat, cross stitch retreat, that was in Brampton with Caroline from Evertote. Got to meet lots of cross stitchers there. There was about 200, I think, that were there. Some amazing, amazing work. It was really fun to watch. I was a vendor there. So a lot of what I brought back from Nashville, I no longer have in stock. So this week I've been busy trying to get more of it ordered again so I can, yeah, get it back in stock. So I did hold back a few of the new releases, just some of my favorites, to show you a little bit later. So yeah, thanks for all those who have subscribed. I know a lot of the ones that were at Stitch North, um, had are subscribing to my Flosstube, so that's why I thought I really want to, yeah, put up another one fairly soon. Also, I'm going to England next week for 2 weeks. My daughter moved there about a year and a half ago. And so this is the first time that we've actually been able to travel there and see where she lives. She's come home a few times because it was just easier for her to come home from England than it was for us to go there because of the restrictions and things. So we got 2 full weeks planned of lots of touring and stuff in England. Um, oh yeah, I have 4 children. Two girls, 2 boys. Our oldest daughter lives about 3.5 hours away with her husband. They have 4 boys. The next is a boy, Brian, with his wife, Ashley. They live just around the corner. And so it's fun to see 2 more little grandkids grow up, a little boy and little girl, Colton and Taylor. So they live real close by. Then Krista and her boyfriend Ari live in England, London, England. They moved there about a year and a half ago, just kind of during the pandemic time. But it's been in their plans for a long time to move there. So yeah, so they live there. And then our youngest son lives in Kitchener, and he is going to get married to Megan in August. So we have 6 grandchildren, 5 boys, 1 girl, and yeah, that's kind of a little life update of, yeah, my family. So what have I been working on? So I think I showed the last time my little egg, scatter eggs little pillow. This was by Shepherd's Bush. I'm doing this a little late in the day, so hopefully, but this is a shepherd bush pattern. And there's scatter eggs, scatter kindness, scatter luck, She's got a whole series. So it makes a fairly tiny pillow because I think this is on 32, smoky pearl. But just, yeah, cute little pillow. So I ended up putting some little pom-pom trim around there, and it's just super cute. It does come, well, it doesn't come. You can order buttons that go with it, but I like the daintiness of the design. I found that the buttons maybe were a little big for what the design was. So I liked it just like that. So that is scatter egg. So that's kind of a Easter project. And then as we're talking about spring and Easter, this is just my rough copy. This is a Cricut collection. What is it called? Rabbit's Big Day. Rabbit's Big Day. Here, I'll show you the real ones. They're probably a little easier to see. So there's like Mr. Rabbit. And you kind of just, yeah, finish them off in this little carrot shape. And then this is Mrs. Rabbit. So there's Mr. and Mrs. Oh, that reminds me. I know more Flosstubers talk about screenshots. I have the most horriblest screenshot ever. Like, if you've gone back and seen, I have an orange piece of thread underneath my nose, and that's what they chose. Now, when I was at Stitch North, some of the Flosstubers gave me some hints of what I could do to pick my own. So I will have to see if I can get that to work or not, because oh boy, that was awful. So that's, yeah, Rabbit's Big Day. She has lots of other little carrot designs that are in that same shape, so it would look cute on a little tree, Easter tree, little white tree, with all the little carrots thing kind of hanging down. That they were fun to do. I liked doing those. I got some more. I did the Spring Berries by Erica Michaels. Again, that's my rough copy because I've sold so many patterns. I don't know if I've got them all, and I don't know where mine are, so I just have my rough ones. So this is one of the little berries. Hop into spring. So I just kind of made a little flower on top. I used the same template that she used, and I used 32 count for all the berries themselves. And then I just put some leaves, and then these were just all little pieces of felt that were kind of in a half circle, and then I just did a running stitch, gathered them all together, and then just rolled a piece of wool for the middle of the flower. So that's one. This was the other one, just spring. Spring has sprung. Yeah, spring has sprung. So this one just kind of has just some leaves and stuff. I had these little bee buttons, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to take one of those flathead daisy pins, and I just trimmed it and then just glued it to the back because they're really nice fine pins. And then I just kind of, so that way I could use something that I already had, because I made a big order of from Just Another Button Company, but I didn't receive it in time for the retreat, and I haven't received it yet, so it hopefully will be coming this week. So I've ordered all the pins, the mini pin sets for all of the berries. So if you're looking for those, I've got those. And then this was the last one. What does it say? Oh, that was another thing from the Flosstube. I realized that I need to wear glasses. I was squinting all the time. So I did make an eye appointment, and I do have some glasses coming. So hopefully then I just didn't realize I was squinting that much. So yeah, this is the little spring robin, and I just did what she did, was just take some wool, cut it really fine, and just roll it, and those are like little eggs, and this is the little nest that goes around there. But Shelby actually did the berry part for me because she's done several, and so I just did the toppers. So yeah, those were really cute. So that was another finish that I did. This I got at Market. It was there was a booth there that Under the Garden Moon, and I believe I've ordered some quilt things from them in the past. But they had some really cute wool and cottons and stuff designs. So I made this little guy up and it's just super cute. So it's kind of in a biscornu kind of shape. Um, and yeah, like has a bunny, mushroom, and just some different stitches. She had some other stitches. I kept it fairly simple with just lazy daisy stem stitch, French knots, things like that. So I had kits of these available, but I sold them all at Stitch North. So when I get back from England, I will by then have more patterns because I'm out of patterns as well. Um, so yeah, this is called Forest Friends Pincushion. So you end up putting a little extra pouch of the crushed black walnuts and you put that kind of in the center and then stuff it just with fiber fill um, in the edges and the top and the bottom. It's just so it gives it some weight so that it, doesn't fly all over the place. And it just, yeah, it makes it feel really nice and sturdy. Then I put a button, stitched a button through here, and then if you stitch another button there, you can pull it really nice and tight. And then it makes a really cute little pin cushion or a bowl koozie or just a decorative little piece to put on your coffee table or wherever. Just, yeah, like keep it away from pets and young children. If you like to think and pitch it around and chew on it. So yeah, that was Forest Friends. Sorry for the glare there. Um, so that I will show you some more patterns that she has as well. I just want to make some samples of them because I think the cover can only show so much of it. So the other projects that she has are kind of like 3D. So that was a really fun thing to do. I like doing that. So yeah, another little wool project. And then from Jeanette Douglas, it was Stitching Spool. And I actually sold out of these just online before the Stitch North retreat. So I've been trying to get a hold of her to get some more of these patterns. Super tiny and fine. It's on 36. I don't know if you can see there, but just so fun. And then around the edge, right here, I've started, you do a nun stitch, which is, yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. But that's how you can finish it off. And then I'm to cut like one thread past that. And then this is going to go around a spool. I didn't take it. Actually, I can take it out of here. Now, Jeanette Douglas has these spools available. And they're finished really nicely. So then this is going to go, let's see if I can put it around there a little bit. It's going to go around this spool. Now I've lost or misplaced, because I put it in a safe place, the finishing little thing that she's got, because I bought it kitted, and I will try to get the kit again as well. But she's got some buttons in there, some ribbon that you then tie it at the back of the little spool. Now, these spools are $44, which is a lot. So I've been trying to see, like, okay, is there something else out there that would work the same? So I searched around, and when I was at Hobby Lobby, I think, when I was in Florida, I found these spools. Let me see what the size is. So it came in a bag with 4. So this is the bag that it came in. It is 1.5 by 2 1/8. And I think it will work. Of course, it's not as decorative and nice as the other one, but I was more concerned about whether it was whether the depth, the length of it, I guess, and that it was going to go around. That doesn't look really good. Let's see if I can do this better. Sorry. Just want to be able to show, because I thought that it would work to get it around the spool. Then I would just either stain or paint like a dark brown there just to finish it off. And then she has you add a little piece of batting, which I'm not sure I will do because the difference here is there's lots of thickness here and there's only a little lip here. Now, I would love to find someone that, has a lathe that can make some of these for me. I'm gonna talk to Jeanette because I think the company itself that makes these no longer list them on their website. I think it's a discontinued item, so I don't know how many Jeanette has. But if anybody's interested in any of these spools, let me know so that when I place my order, I can get some. But otherwise, I think this will work, and when I finish it, I will show you how I kind of finished it and dolled it up a bit. But yeah, I love doing this teeny tiny little project. It was just so fun. And it came like, since I bought it kitted, it came with all the thread and everything that I needed for it. And I mean, you need very little, and so it's easy to change up your colors and things for that. Okay, well, I guess since this is next on the pile, so I have a quilt hanging up behind me. This is a cotton background. I mean, the designer calls for linen, and then wool applique on top. It's called The Santa, the Tree, the Turkey, and Me. And it's by Hatched and Patched. Actually, I'm going to take it out of the plastic, otherwise you really aren't going to be able to see. A picture, if I can figure out where the opening is. So she's, I don't know where she's from. I think she's Australia or something like that. Well, I guess she has shiny paper, so I guess it's not going to help a whole lot. So, but it's called The Santa, the Tree, the Turkey, and Me. And it's just a really fun design. So we did it in the shop as a block of the month. But I have several kits left that if anybody's interested in buying a complete kit and finishing it off, yeah, I have those available. And you can find them on my website. Just type in The Santa, the Tree, and it'll come up and it'll tell you what the complete set is. It was like so much fun. And then it has some hand embroidery for the lettering. And then you can either use embroidery thread to stitch around the wool applique or use Valdani. I haven't quilted it yet. It's not that big. So it's a really nice wall hanging. It's like 36 by 36. Yeah, 36 by 41. So it's, not huge. So it's a really cute, just lay over the back of your couch or, yeah, do it as a wall hanging. Super cute. So that is the quilt. What else? Okay, what am I interested in what I got from Quilt Market? Okay, so I really enjoy doing the berries. So I do have the Sewing Bee by Erica Michaels. I mean, I love that pincushion there too. Try to keep it like that for the glare. So that was one from Erica Michaels. This one, you pretty well, maybe you've seen some of the pictures online because you need to see this one to really know what it's all about. So it's a book of alphabet, I believe. So each page is cross-stitched and has the letter and different things on it. It's amazing. This would be like a lifelong project because each page would take a while and you have to do the whole alphabet. But really, really interesting. So I may, do a couple pages just so that you can see what it actually will look like. Another berry by Erica Michaels. This one too is really nice. English Sampler Berries. She had another new release, but to do with sewing related, but she was sold out when I was there already, so I didn't get a chance to pick any up. And for my distributor, you pretty well got to wait at least a month in order for them to start carrying some of the patterns that were at market. I really like Bent Creek. That's that big long pillow that I was working on that I was so hoping to have framed for Stitch North, and when I went to go pick it up, he hadn't even gotten the frame yet. Everything is just so behind. So, yeah, can't do anything about it. So that was too bad. But anyway, so this one too, I'm going to show you the picture on the back. Oh, let me take it out. It's, you actually put the 5 pieces together to, so I don't know if you can see if it's still blurry. 5 pieces together. So there's a winter, spring, summer, fall, and then the middle one has a little saying. It says, "Write on your heart, every day is the best day in the year." So then this goes between the spring, summer, fall, winter. And it just makes a nice little banner kind of wall hanging. And they also always come with embellishments. So they either come with a snap. This one's got a little leaf or a little heart, and some have, I think, a bird. So yeah, that one I love to stitch up, and it's fairly small, so that one wouldn't take too much time. So that is called Snapper Best Day. So that is one that I wanted to do. Some of these. Okay, then of course, Brenda Gervais, Rejoice Evermore. I'm sure everybody's seen these, but love the design. So that was Rejoice Evermore. Keeper of the Pins. I know lots of people are working on these. Everything seems blurry, but that's probably my eyes. Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais, or With Thy Needle and Thread. Got to meet Elma from Blackbird Design. Oh man, she is such a super nice person. Just never gets flustered, just kind of casually talks to everybody. And even though the lineup is out the door, she still just, you know, pays attention to you and nicely talks to you. So yeah, she is such a nice person. Humming of the Bees, that one was really cute. And then I did pick up What Love Remains. This was the chart that Traditional Stitches, they had designed it for them for their anniversary. So now it came out that it can be purchased. So I did pick up a few of those. And I have a few of the books left. A Heart Remembers by Blackbird Designs. Yeah, I grabbed a lot, but I think I still have a few left, but really, really nice. I mean, her books are beautiful. Even just, I always say, like, they're just nice coffee table books. You just put on a coffee table, every time you look at it, you see something different. Also from With a Needle and Thread is the Seasons of the Heart. I would love to do these little pillows. And if I do, if I can come up with a little design to change that to Canadian, I will let you know. I always seem to have to do that for a lot of the wool projects and even quilting and applique. And I had asked a designer once, you know, like, you know, could you please include like a Canadian emblem in there? And one said absolutely no. And another one said, if she did that, then, you know, then what about Australia and England and all of these others? And yeah, I guess I get it. So, yeah, that's the only thing is that, yeah, we would like a Canadian flag on there. And speaking of Canadian flags, I did pick up another, this is Oh My Canada by Twin Peaks Primitive. And yeah, they do have a few Canadian designs. So it's Fun Canada Day by Twin Peaks. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot another one of my finishes. I worked on this when I was in Florida, and my grandsons that were there, every day they had to check out to see how far I was and kind of look on the chart to see, like, okay, where is she at? And oh, has she done the truck? Or can you do the flag next? So it was really fun. So this is July 1st by Shannon Christine. There, it looks much better in real life. So this is the design that I did when I was there. So love the fireworks and yeah, just the colors. I did this again, I think, on Smoky Pearl, 32 Smoky Pearl. I really like that color. I'm kind of prone to tealy blues and things. But this was really fun to stitch, and they just, yeah, they loved seeing it come together. So, and then I just found this little frame. I've had it in my, I think I got it at like Winners or Home Sense. It's for photographs, so it does have a frame. So you can just set it anywhere. So I know it's not July, but at least I'm prepared. I've got something for July. So that is a Shannon Christine. Oh, the other, I had gotten Teresa Koget's Let Love Rain, and I just placed another order for a bunch of books because those also were sold before I went to Stitch North. This was another one, and I think this is my last one, and I just noticed someone just ordered it today. So, but I love this one. I will definitely stitch this one. This is called Love is the Key, and it has the cutest rabbits on there. Just super cute. And it says love is the key to happiness. But yeah, I just love. So I want to figure out what I need for that. Oh, it's on 40 count. I haven't done anything on 40 count yet. But once I get my new glasses, I might be able to see that. Okay, so that was Teresa Koget. We also had gotten her Newcastle Biscornu, which I ordered more of those as well. Some other Easter patterns that I ordered as well, even though they're not new releases. But I thought this one was really pretty. This is Bent Creek Quaker Easter Egg. Oh, I must have got this when I was in Nashville. So Quaker Easter Egg by Bent Creek. This is Promises of Easter series. This is Twin Peak Primitives, but I love that lamb on there. I think it's just so pretty. That's a lot of fill-in though. But that would be, you know, if you got them outlined, then it's just sitting and filling them in. Oh, yeah, her patterns don't really give you any information on the back. You have to open it to find out. This one I figured was probably a fairly quick stitch because they're just big chunks. Again, I haven't looked to see how big this one actually is, but I just thought it was really pretty for Easter. So I know what is Easter's next week. It's a little late for this year, but hey, if you start a year early, then at least you've got a good start. This one was just, I just thought it was cute. Like I was talking to Shelby, or Shelby says, remember as a kid, says, mind your own beeswax. Remember as kids, yeah. Whenever someone was bugging you. So I thought that was cute. This is a designer I'm not familiar with, Calico Confectionery. Yeah, I just thought this design was cute. They've got it set up really nice in a dough bowl with some beeswax candles and some other things, so it would make a really nice display. So that one was cute. And then I love this one. It's a lot of stitching. Let me take it out of the plastic here. Although the picture's usually still shiny. And I don't know, I'm drawn to this. I love this. I did a design very similar to this in wool. It was Catch Falling Snowflakes, but it kind of has a similar look to this. And yeah, each day is a blessing. So this is called Winter Blessings by Twin Peaks. But I love that. And they did it dirty, just Aida. Oh, this one's gray. Twin Peaks uses a lot of dirty and a lot of Aida. A lot of their designs are stitched on Aida. So yeah, that's kind of nice for a beginner. What else am I working on? I'm still working on Entwined Hearts. And I think Shiloh, the MD stitcher. I'm sorry, I don't know what your Flosstube name is, but yeah, working away on this. And I wanted to get to those berries, so I finally did get down to the berries. So now I'm getting into some of the funner designs. I don't mind doing alphabet, but yeah, it is fun to change it and get into some of the other designs. So yeah, so this is on Aztec Red, 32 count, 2 stitches over 2, which does give it lots of texture. I thought it was working on 36, but then when I went through my linens, I don't have Aztec Red in 36, so it has to be 32, which works out well on a darker linen because even now I have to make sure I do it during daylight. Otherwise, I have a hard time with it. This one, I just pulled this, but then I couldn't find the pattern. I'm sure you'll recognize it. It's Needle Worker. Don't know who. This one is in timeout. I tell you, I don't know how many times I have taken this out. So, and then I get along and then I find, oh, I'm up too high. So somewhere I miscounted. So I'm not even sure I really like it on this linen. I think maybe I'm going to go to something smaller. This is probably a 32. I think I'm going to go to a 36, but I am going to do a running stitch so that I can make sure that I keep all my letters straight because I can't tell you how many times I've taken out letters. And then a couple of times I took it out because I didn't like the color, because I really like the color on the pattern, but I think the floss, has changed a lot. And so the color to what it is now, yeah, the two just don't jive. So I struggled with that and then finally thought I had a good combination and was moving along. And then I'm like 2, 3 stitches at least above. And because it's writing, you're going to see that it goes, yeah. So no, that's not good. Let's see. So since I'm going to England, I thought, okay, and I had posted a little comic once on my Facebook page that the first thing I do when I'm going on vacation is pick out the projects that I'm going to work on while I'm on vacation. That's number one on my list. Then I'll worry about the clothes and everything else. But I know for sure that I'm not going to have a lot of time to stitch, and I want to see England, so yeah, that's totally fine. But I thought, oh, the airport and maybe on the plane I can stitch, so I have to pick something that's not too fine of a count because I probably am not going to see that. So I am going to work on these Plum Street bee little pillows. Honey, this one is called Kind Words. And I got stuff ready for this Bumblebee Kisses. So they're stitched on 14 count Aida, and the other one I think is a 25 count linen of some sort, but I just may do them both on Aida because I figured that it's simple. I don't have to strain to see the holes and things. So I did just, when I was at the hairdresser this week, I thought, okay, I'm at least going to get started. Let's see, let's put this behind there. I don't know if that. So I got a really teeny tiny start. But I thought, no, this will be fun just to work on, even at night and stuff, because yeah, it's just easy. Haven't done Aida for a little bit, but I don't mind working on Aida. And the other one I picked out was this one, which is Thread Work Primitives, and it's a little bag, and I just think, oh, I just want to do cross stitch where there's other little things for decorative. So they're not all pillows, they're not all pictures, but this one's like a little pouch. And it's all like just a single thread, one color. So I'm trying to figure out what color to use. And there's a Cosmo thread that's variegated. that Crabapple Hill used a lot, and it kind of goes from teals to browns, and so I think that will look really pretty on that. So I'll find some linen, and I think I'm going to use that floss. But I thought I do maybe want to incorporate some of the Blackbird fabrics for the back and for the trim. So we got the Threads That Bind, the Blackbird by Moda, some from the fabric line. I just, because it's going so quickly, I did reorder some more bolts, and I ordered some more of the prints. We realized we didn't really have a pink. But you can go on the website, and even on my website, you'll see a picture of it. So I want to see if I can incorporate that. So I want to, yeah, kind of make sure that my floss matches some of the fabric. So that's what I hope to work on while I'm gone. We'll see how far I get. What else? I think that's pretty well it. I wanted to give a little note at the end. I don't know. I have a nephew and his wife and his two children who lived in Ukraine for 15 years. They just moved back to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, just in the last couple of years. He went there right after high school and went to university there, worked in an orphanage, met his wife. They had their two kids there, and he became a pastor. And they ended up moving to Moose Jaw. And then, now that that's happening with the war, it was driving him crazy to be here when he knew he could probably be some help there. So he ended up flying to Poland and working there for a month with supplies and translating, and because he could be right at the border, right at the train station, the bus stations. And so as soon as people got off, he could help them figure out where they needed to go next, where the refugee centers are. And he said, just to give them like some support, he said, like, they just get off the bus and the train, and it's like, oh my goodness, like they're overwhelmed, like we don't speak the language, and where in the world do we go? So he helped out a lot with that, with food distribution, buying wet wipes, because that's their only means of washing themselves. There are no showers in the refugee centers, and there's like 5,000 people in these refugee centers. And buying food, and buying computers and stuff for some of the volunteers so they could keep track of the food that was bought and distributed, and also for the refugees, and like keeping track of where they're going and things like that. So he supported that, and I think several got together and they bought a boat as well, so that since all the bridges were bombed, there's no way of getting across the river to some of the people that need the food in Ukraine. So they got a boat so that they can transport the food across that way. So I have, over the years, several quilts that were shop samples in my shop. And I thought, okay, I'm going to auction them off, and the money will all go to Aaron. Aaron's his name. Um, to use for his contacts that he has in Ukraine. I imagine at some point that he will go back. Um, it's very overwhelming, and he can't go into the refugee centers. You have to be approved by the Polish government and get special papers and stuff for that. Um, so he's looking at, like, what can he do to work towards start raising money and doing things in order for the rebuilding. Ukrainian people are incredibly loyal, and every single one he spoke to, whether it was young or old, have every intention of going back to Ukraine at the first opportunity. So we hope that, the war ends and that they will be able to do that. But right now there's incredible need. So I am raising money by auctioning off these quilt samples. And so if you're interested in that at all, then just go to my website, Pastime Pieces, and you will see on the Facebook page for Pastime Pieces that I've started posting some pictures of some of the quilts. Now I'm doing kind of an auction where you bid and then you continue on and keep checking back. But I may change that next week. I'm going to wait till Monday night. But I may just post the quilts themselves and give a suggested donation price for that quilt. And that way people can, you don't have to keep going back and checking to see what the number's at and, if you really want it, like, yeah. So I might end up doing that. The quilts will still go for an incredibly reasonable price because, yeah, unfortunately, people don't want to pay for the time and effort that's gone into making the quilt. So I'm pricing it more or less according to how much the supplies cost to actually make the quilt and to have it professionally quilted, long armed. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, just kind of check out my Facebook page on Pastime Pieces. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone. I hope that I can inspire some of you. Check out the shop, or if there's any design that you're interested in, just let me know and I will do my best to try and find it for you. Um, yeah, just yeah, anything I can help you with. And yeah, if you're interested, please subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.